everyone. So today's practice is going to be another slow flow class, and we're going to focus a lot on side planks and variations of side planks. So let's go ahead and begin today in child's pose. Remember, big toes touching, knees apart if that's comfortable for you. You can also bring your knees together and give your spine just a little bit more support if you need that today. Stretch the arms in front of you and bring the forehead down towards the floor. And let's just begin to settle in. Closing the eyes and just taking a moment to notice the breath. Noticing areas where you might be holding on to tension. Just relaxing the hands, the forearms. Relaxing the shoulders. Relaxing the jaw. Seeing if you can release the hips towards the heels just a little bit more. Now begin to just notice the body breathing. Noticing that sensation of the entire body expanding as we draw the breath in. Noticing that feeling of contraction or release as we let the breath go. And starting to feel the breath now filling the body from bottom to top. Noticing that breath leaving from top to bottom. Noticing what it feels like to really allow the belly to completely fill with air as we draw that next breath in. Noticing what it feels like to fill the lungs and expand the ribs all the way around. Noticing now the steadiness of the breath. This steady rhythm we're starting to build. This effortlessness with our breathing as we just start to fall into this natural rhythm. Staying really present with the breath. Lift the head maybe an inch or so, and we're going to start to walk the hands off the mat to the right. And just going as far over as you can, trying to keep the hips steady, stretching the arms, and then melting back down again. Just starting to feel into the side body here. Again, noticing that expansion of the ribs as you draw the breath in. Maybe stretching those left fingertips a little further forward. And just a few more breaths here. And then walking the hands slowly back through center and right off the mat to the left side. So as far as you can go here, and then sinking down, bringing the forehead down, relaxing the heart, sinking the right hip back towards the heel, and stretching those right fingertips maybe a little further forward. And just breathing. Feeling that stretch in the side body as we inhale, the intercostal muscles getting a nice deep stretch. Those muscles in between the ribs that tend to get really compressed and really tight. And then slowly walk the hands back through center. And let's rise up to hands and knees, table pose. And we'll just go through a few rounds of cat-cow here. So remember, creases of the wrists are under the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And as we inhale, the belly falls, the gaze lifts. And as we exhale, begin to tuck the tail around the spine and drop the head. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, tuck the tail around the spine. Inhale. And exhale. Just a few more rounds here. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, relax the shoulders away from the ears. And exhale, round the spine, drop the head. Good, and now just coming back to this neutral table pose, let's tuck our toes and lift the hips up and back to downward facing dog. Good, and really let the weight of the head fall here, relax the heels down towards the floor. And softly begin to pedal the feet back and forth, so maybe pressing just that left heel down as you bend into the right knee. And then switching sides. And coming back to neutral. As we inhale, rise to the tippy toes and just slowly start to roll forward to top of a push-up. Good, and here's where you notice if the hands were a little bit too far away or a little bit too close in. A good measuring stick, remember, for our downward facing dog is when we come forward to plank, the wrists stay underneath the shoulders. So maybe readjust, hold here and plank for a few breaths. Keep breathing. Good, and now slowly start to take that wave back up to downward facing dog. Relax the heels. Inhale, rise to the tippy toes, come forward to plank pose. And this time, drop the hips, lift the gaze for a modified upward facing dog. Good, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Good, and just one more time here. Inhale, rise to the tippy toes, round the spine, come forward to top of a push-up, and right away into that modified upward facing dog. Good, downward facing dog. This time as you inhale, rise to the tippy toes. And as you exhale, step the feet forward between the hands. Inhale, lift halfway, find length. Exhale, fold, interlace the hands over the elbows and just allow the knees to remain soft. Maybe sway side to side just a little bit, loosening up any tension in the low back. Noticing that breath. Good, releasing the bind. Soften the knees, push into the feet as you inhale, swim the arms all the way up and overhead. And as you exhale, hands to the heart. Good, inhale, arms rise, catch hold of the left wrist with the right hand. Lean to the right. Good, and just stay here for a few breaths. Maybe take your gaze underneath that left arm, drive down through your left foot, and feel that nice stretch up the side body. Good, inhale, come back up, look up, and exhale, other side. Remember to push down through that right foot. Good, inhale, rise back up, and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway, find length. And exhale, plant the hands. Let's step back, top of a push-up. Take an inhale, and exhale, lower all the way down to the floor. Good, untuck the toes, slide the hands back behind you, and let's start with palms down here. So forehead's down on the floor, palms are down on the mat, tops of the feet are on the floor, and then just lift the head straight up an inch. So we're still looking down at our mat. And let's press the hip points down towards the floor. See if you can lift up just a little bit higher. Good, and then maybe lift the hands up, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then maybe lift the feet up for locust pose. Keep breathing, stay strong, squeeze those shoulder blades together, lift the chest. Good, and then as you exhale, lower down, plant the hands under the shoulders, tuck the toes. Inhale to lift the thighs. And as you press the palms into the floor, press your way back up to top of a push-up and downward facing dog. Let's take a few breaths here. Noticing the pace of the breath, trying to keep it steady throughout the entire practice. Good. As we inhale, now rising to the tippy toes. Exhale, step, jump, or float to the front of the mat. Inhale, lift and lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms rise all the way up and overhead. And exhale, hands to the heart. Good. Inhale, arms rise. Catch hold of the left wrist with the right hand. Lean to the right. Inhale, come back up. And exhale, other side. Inhale, come back up, look up. And as you exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway, find length. Exhale, plant the hands, step to the back of the mat, top of a push-up. Good, take your inhale. Exhale, lower all the way down to the floor. Inhale to locust pose. Pause here, breathe here, any version. Maybe the feet are still down on the floor. Keep lifting the chest. Noticing the breath here. Good. And now we're going to swim our arms forward, palms facing each other. So we're reaching forward with our hands. Try to keep the arms pretty close to in line with the ears. A few more breaths here. Good, and then release the arms and the legs down. Slide the elbows back under the shoulders for just a moment here in Sphinx pose. Good, and now we're going to tuck our toes, lift our thighs, and find a forearm plank. Good. Now let's leave our right forearm down, stack our feet, and lift our left arm for a forearm side plank. Look up towards that left hand if you can. Good. As you exhale, drop the left palm down to the floor. Pivot onto that left side. Raise the right arm up for a side plank. Good. A couple more breaths here. Try to keep your right side body lifted. As you exhale, drop the right hand down, top of a push-up. Take an inhale, and exhale, chaturanga. Inhale through to upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take 5 breaths. Relax the knees, relax the weight of the head. One more breath. Good. And as you inhale, now rise to the tippy toes. Exhale, step, jump, or float to the front of the mat. Inhale, lift and lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, swim the arms all the way up and overhead. And exhale, hands to the heart. Good. Inhale, arms rise. Catch hold of that left wrist with the right hand. And let's lean to the right. Inhale, come back up. And exhale, other side. Inhale, come back up, look up. And as you exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. exhale, plant the hands, step to the back of the mat, top of a push-up. Let's just take our inhale here. And as you exhale, lower all the way down to the floor. Inhale for locust pose. Pause here. Notice that breath starting to really warm up the body here. And slide the arms forward, gazing slightly forward. Good, and then release the arms and the legs. Slide the elbows back underneath the shoulders for sphinx pose for just a moment. And now let's tuck our toes, lift our knees, and we find ourselves in forearm plank again. Few breaths here. Good, this time we're going to leave our left forearm down, pivot onto that outer left foot, and raise the right arm up in the air. Maybe taking your gaze along with it. Keep pressing that left forearm into the mat. Good, now as you exhale, you're going to drop your right palm down to the floor, pivot onto the outer right foot, and raise your left arm up in the air for side plank. Remembering in our side plank, we want to keep our wrist right underneath our shoulder, so maybe take a peek down at your right hand. Keep that left hip hiked up. One more breath. Good, and as you exhale, top of a push-up. Take an inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, let's drop the knees to the floor here. Take a quick child's pose. Let's come back to that nice, slow, steady breath. One more breath here. Inhale, rise back to hands and knees. And exhale, downward facing dog. Just taking a few breaths, letting the head hang heavy. Good, as you inhale, rise to the tippy toes. Exhale, step, jump, or float to the front of the mat. Inhale, lift and lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold, soften the knees. Inhale, arms rise all the way up and overhead. And exhale, hands to the heart. Good. And now walk the big toes together, heels slightly apart here. Inhale, take the arms up. And exhale, chair pose, sit down and back. So we want our heels just slightly apart. Hug the inner thighs and hug the belly in. Press the heels down and apart. Good, try to keep the chest elevated here. And now as we inhale, take that right arm back behind us for a twist. Slowly come back through center. And other side, take that left arm back behind you. Open the arms for a twist. Good. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, top of a push-up. Take your inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale through to upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, inhale, take your right leg up in the air. And exhale, step that right foot between the hands. Good, come up onto your fingertips here, hug the inner thighs and push down through that right foot. And as we inhale, rise all the way up to crescent warrior. Good, take a breath. And now inhale, stretch your right leg straight. Exhale, bend into your right knee, take the right arm back for a twist. Inhale, come through to crescent warrior. Take a few breaths. Good, and then warrior two. Drop the left heel, open the arms to a T. Good. So remember, in this one we want our right heel in line with our left arch. Take a moment to settle in. Reverse your warrior, left arm down, right arm reaches up and overhead. And as you exhale, take the hands down to the floor, surround that right foot. Inhale, slide the right leg up in the air again. Exhale, knee to nose, hug it in. Good. Inhale, right leg lifts. And this time as you exhale, we're going to come into side plank on that left side. So keep that right leg up, side plank. Good. If you need to drop the foot, you certainly can. Gaze up towards that right hand. Good. As you exhale, drop the right hand down, three-legged downward facing dog. Exhale, step the right foot back between the hands. Good. Inhale, come up onto the fingertips. And as you exhale, stretch that right leg straight, drop the weight of the head down. And let's take a few breaths here. So for this one, we have a wide waterfall, so that left heel can certainly hover off the floor. It does not have to touch. See if you can lengthen the crown of the head towards the right foot. And just a few more breaths here. Re-bend into that right knee and step the left foot forward to meet the right. Inhale, lift and lengthen the spine. And exhale, fold. Inhale, arms rise all the way up and overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart. Good. Walk the big toes together, heels slightly apart. Inhale, take the arms up. And exhale, chair pose, sit down and back. Maybe lifting up all 10 toes this time and just checking in with the weight in the feet, making sure it's equal. And maybe take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, swim that left arm back behind you, right arm forward, gaze towards that left hand. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, other side. Good. Inhale, come back through center. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, top of a push-up. And take your inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step that left foot between the hands. Good. Again, drive down through the left foot. And as you inhale, rise all the way up to crescent warrior. Good. A couple more breaths here. Good. Inhale, stretch the left leg straight. Exhale, bend the knee, twist to the left. Left arm back behind you. Good. Inhale, back to crescent warrior, arms rise. Good. And exhale, warrior two. Drop that right heel, open those arms. Good, and take just another breath here to settle in. And reverse your warrior, right arm down, left arm reaches. Good, inhale, come back through center. Exhale, swim the hands down to the floor, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose, crunch it in. Inhale, left leg lifts. And this time as we come forward, we're coming into that side plank. Right hand under the right shoulder, raise the left arm up. Couple more breaths. Good. As you exhale, drop that left hand down, three-legged downward facing dog. Exhale, step the left foot between the hands. Inhale, look up. And exhale, stretch that left leg, relax the right heel. And drop the weight of the head towards the left shin. And just taking a few breaths here. If you can lengthen the crown of the head down towards the toes. Good. And softly rebend into that left knee. Let's step the right foot forward to meet the left. Inhale, lift and lengthen. And exhale, fold. Inhale, arms rise all the way up and overhead. And exhale, hands to the heart. So let's do one more standing round. Inhale, arms rise. No chair pose this round. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway, find length. Exhale, plant the hands, step on back, top of a push-up. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step the right foot between the hands. Good, inhale, arms rise, crescent warrior. This time catch hold of that left wrist with the right hand and just lean to the right. If you're feeling really steady here, you can look underneath the left arm. If not, stay right where you're at. Good. Inhale, both arms lift. Take a breath, settle in. Inhale, stretch the right leg straight. Exhale, bend the knee, take your twist. Good, this time as we come back through center, stretch that right leg straight again, bring the right arm up. Exhale, crescent warrior. Good, inhale, stretch the right leg straight again. And exhale as you bend the knee, warrior two, open the arms up. Inhale. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Good, inhale, come back through center. And then we're going to stretch our right leg straight, turn the toes towards the long edge of the mat. Good, inhale, both arms lift. And as you exhale, fold forward, bringing both hands down to the floor. And dropping the weight of the head. And just maybe walking the hands back in space a few inches if you have the space to lengthen a little bit more here in the spine. Good, just a few more breaths here. Good. Walk the hands forward, inhale halfway. And then we're going to bring our heels in, toes out a little bit here. So we still have a pretty wide stance. Press down through the feet, press out through the inner knees, and then just lift the hands up to rest just above the knees on the thighs. Good. Maybe kind of sway back and forth and settle into the hips a little bit here. Good. And then just come to center. And as you're pushing down onto the skin of the thigh, see if you can feel the sensation of pressing the skin forward towards the knees. Good, and then with that, now drop your left shoulder down, peel your right shoulder back. Maybe gaze over that right shoulder. Good, inhale, come back through center. And exhale, other side, drop the right shoulder down, peel that left shoulder back, maybe gaze over the left shoulder. Inhale, come back through center, drop the hips down another inch, bring the arms straight up and overhead. Good, just a few breaths here. Good. And then stretch the legs straight, warrior two. Good, take an inhale. Exhale, swim the hands down to the floor, surround that right foot, slide the right leg back up in the air. Exhale, knee to nose, hug it in. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, side plank, come forward, raise that right arm up. Maybe that right leg can stay up in the air. Good, drop it if you need to. Good, exhale, drop that right hand, three-legged downward facing dog. And this time, exhale, just drop that right foot next to the left. Let's take a few breaths here in downward facing dog, just to recover. To reconnect. Hugging the upper arm bones in, softening the knees. Relaxing the weight of the head down. How about 2 more breaths here? Good. Inhale, rise to the tippy toes. And exhale, step, jump, or float to the front of the mat. Inhale, lift and lengthen the spine. Exhale, refold. Inhale, arms rise all the way up and overhead. And exhale, hands to the heart. Last side here. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, top of a push-up. And take your inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, left leg lifts. And as you exhale, step that left foot between the hands. Come up onto the fingertips. Inhale, crescent warrior, arms rise. Grab hold of that right wrist with the left hand and lean to the left. Couple breaths here. Good. As you inhale, bring the arms up. Take a breath to settle in. Inhale, stretch the left leg straight. And as you exhale, bend the knee, open the arms to a T as you twist to the left. Good. Inhale, straighten the leg as you come forward. Exhale, re-bend into that left knee. Good. Inhale, stretch that left leg. And as you exhale, bend the knee, open up to that warrior 2. Take an inhale. Exhale, reverse warrior. Good. Inhale, come back through center. And then stretch that left leg straight and pivot and turn those left toes to the long edge of the mat. Good. Inhale, arms rise. And exhale, fold forward. And we'll take a few breaths here. Maybe walk the hands back in space, again seeing if you can stretch the crown of the head towards the floor. Good. Inhale, lift halfway. Bring the heels in, knees out again. And we're going to float the hands up to just above the knees. Relax the shoulders down. See if you can maybe sit down a little bit more, maybe sway side to side and just get into those hips. Good. And then stay put, and let's drop our right shoulder down, left shoulder peels back, gaze over that left shoulder. Good. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, other side. Drop the left shoulder, gaze over the right. Inhale, come back through center. Raise the arms straight up in the air. Take a few breaths here. Good. And then warrior 2 again. Good. Just take an inhale here. And as you exhale, swim the hands back down to the floor. Raise the left leg all the way up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, side plank, if you can. Stay with me. Breathe. Good. And then as you exhale, drop that left hand down, slide that left leg up in the air, and then just drop the left foot down to meet the right. Take an inhale just to stretch those hip creases back, relax the heart. And as you exhale, drop the knees to the floor. Let's take a child's pose. And coming back to that steady rhythmic breathing. We'll start to cool down here with a few nice deep stretches. So as we inhale, just rising back to hands and knees. And let's start with the left side here. So we're going to bring our left fingertips to the base of our skull. Press our right hand down into the floor. Imagine dialing that right thumb forward and try to keep the hips from swaying. So as we inhale, take the left arm up in the air, left elbow. And as you exhale, bring left elbow tip towards the right elbow tip. Inhale, left arm lifts. Exhale, crunch. Good, and then just one more time. Inhale, lift up. This time, release that left hand up. And as you exhale, thread the needle. Left arm back behind the right. Come down on the left temple, left shoulder. And let's just take a few breaths here. One more breath. Slide the right hand back underneath the right shoulder, and as you inhale, press into your right hand, raise the left arm all the way up. And as you exhale, set it back down. Good, so same thing other side. Bring those right fingertips to the base of the skull. As we inhale, lift the right elbow tip up, maybe gaze up. Exhale, tap elbow to elbow. Inhale, lift up, look up. Exhale, crunch. Last time, inhale, release that right arm all the way up. And as you exhale, thread the needle, right arm back behind the left, come down on that right shoulder, right temple. And just breathe. And just a few more breaths here. Good, and then slide that left hand back under the shoulder. As you inhale, slide your right arm out and up in the air. And as you exhale, bring that right hand back down. And now we're just going to slide our legs out to one side or the other and come to seated on your mat. Maybe the sideways length on your mat so you can keep your legs on something soft, or you can certainly still sit forward if you want. We're going to begin with this wide leg stance. So just take a moment to kind of settle in there. If you can, scoot in just a little bit. We want our toes to be pointing straight up towards the ceiling here, so a little bit of internal rotation in the legs. Good. And then we're going to bring our arms straight up in the air. And just sit up tall for a few breaths. And think about lifting from the undercarriage of the sternum. So right underneath here, we're lifting up. Keep breathing. Good. And now keeping the arms lifted up and overhead, turn your torso towards your right leg. And then go ahead and fold in, maybe grabbing hold of the foot. Maybe grabbing hold of the outer right foot with the left hand and just melting down. You can also just rest your arms alongside your leg, any place that they naturally fall. One more breath. And then slowly release, begin to stack the spine, turn the chest forward. Inhale, arms rise again. And breathe. Try to keep that internal rotation, try to keep the toes pointing up. And now let's turn our torso towards the left foot and go ahead and fold forward. Maybe grabbing hold of the foot, maybe grabbing hold of the outer left foot with the right hand, Again, melting down. And just a few more breaths. And then slowly come back up. Once again, last time, bring the arms straight up in the air. And this time begin to dig your heels into the floor or the mat. Imagine dragging your heels back toward your sit bones. See if you can lift up a little higher and feel almost like a buoyancy underneath the knees here. And we want to keep that now as we begin to hinge from the hips and come forward. Keep pressing the heels into the floor. Keep imagining pulling those heels back towards the hips. And when we can bend no further, go ahead and drop the hands down to the floor for support. And then melt in. If you have any more space, drop the weight of the head. You're certainly welcome to crawl the arms as far forward as you can. And just a few breaths here. One more breath. And slowly begin to walk yourself back. Stack the spine. Slide the legs together, maybe using the hands to help you out a little bit here. And then we're just going to lie down onto our backs. So lie down onto your backs with a constructive rest pose. Soles of the feet on the floor, knees pointing up towards the ceiling. And just allow those knees to knock in. And just take a moment here. Notice how everything's feeling. And taking a few more breaths. Good. And then we're going to give our shoulders just a little love, supporting us through this practice in our side planks. They might need just a little bit of stretch. So the legs can do whatever you want. You can stay in that constructive rest position. You could separate the knees if you wanted to. We're going to bring our arms straight up into the air. And first, let's just reach up. Feel the shoulders lifting up and away from the floor. And as you exhale, drive the shoulders back down. Good. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, relax the shoulders back down. Good, and now bend into the elbows, catch hold of the opposite elbows with the hands. And inhale, stretch the forearms up towards the ceiling. And see if you can just begin to bring the arms potentially over the head. So if you can clear the head, cool. If not, that's all right. They can just hover. But get to that place where you can go no further and then pull the hands into the elbows. Relax the ribs down. Just take a few breaths here. Good, and then inhale, bring the arms back over the chest. Keep hold onto the elbows and take both arms to the right. So a nice stretch for that left shoulder. Coming back through center, bring both arms to the left. Nice stretch for that right shoulder. Good. Inhale, come back through center, release the arms out to a T, and gently pick the feet up, pick the knees up, hug them in. The arms can just stay out along the sides, either palms down or palms up, your choice here. And as we exhale, we'll drop our knees to the right and take our gaze to the left. Relax the shoulders. Take a deep breath here in through the nose. Exhale, let it go. right leg completely be at rest here. Letting the left shoulder completely relax. Good. Look up. Bring the knees back through center. And as you exhale, take the knees to the left and your gaze to the right. Nice deep breath in through the nose. And exhale, let it go. Look up, bring the knees back through center. Wrap the arms around the knees, round in. And then gently release the legs down to the bottom corners of the mat. Let the arms rest comfortably alongside you. Just gently turn the head from side to side. And bring the arms maybe an inch or so further away from the body than you're used to here. And begin to wrap your left shoulder blade underneath you. And then your right. Soften down through the ribs. Relax the legs. Close the eyes. Let's take another deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, let it go. Feeling the body just melt into the mat. Enjoy your rest. Begin to slowly deepen the breath. And gently bringing movement back to the fingers and the toes, and the wrists and the ankles. And gently turning the head from side to side. Slowly slide the legs together, sweeping the arms overhead. Give yourself a nice deep stretch. And as you exhale, just melting back into the floor. Gently drawing the knees in towards you. Softly rocking side to side. And then rocking over to whichever side feels better to you. Just for a moment. And slowly begin to press your way up to seated, crossing the legs. Bringing the hands together at the heart, closing the eyes, tucking the chin. And thank you all so much for practicing with me today. Namaste.